So I'm kind of looking to step up habits here for 2020, just kind of take the next step, take myself more seriously. And I realized that like time boxing, being really diligent about the way you spend your time is really important. I'm trying to figure out how, and, I have routines, I have a kind of a time frame that I do my morning routine, then I work and come home. So I'm trying to figure out how do I extend the time I'm spending on kind of like personal care, morning routine stuff without compromising the time I'm spending in other areas.
First of all, everyone should always be working on their habits and routines and disciplines. That's expansion, right? We're expansive beings. You're here to expand. The universe has more black matter than it has matter for a reason, because everything's built to expand. You should have 2 routines, not just one. So everyone has their normal day, and that's a tight routine. That routine should be perfected and practiced, and you should get better, more efficient, more effective, and statistically successful. So that's the day that you're talking about, how to increase the time on the back end. It's just by practice. Like, I literally beat people with time. That's how I'm not joking, I made $1 million out of law school beating everybody with time. I was on a $250,000 comp plan, and I worked 10 years and 9 months. So I wasn't that great of a salesman yet, because I was a complete overseller, back-end seller, but I worked 10 years and 9 months by working really productive hours, 16 productive hours, twice as efficiently and twice as statistically successful for 7 days a week. It was 56 days a week I was working. I just beat them with math. When they gave me all the awards, I was like, I didn't even hit comp plan. They're like, dude, you made $1 million, you're 25 years old. I'm like, I worked 10 years, I made 100 grand a year. But so to perfect that daily routine, and for me, that's about 100 days out of 365 or 66 this year. So what do I do the other days? This is where I really have learned how we get in our own way, especially with social media, and like the day just goes by all of a sudden when you're not in that. It's really easy when you're in your regular routine to get better and better. 4 a.m. I'm up, 20 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes to get ready, get to the gym by 5:30, home by 6:30, 6:30, 7:30 is research, right, all the way down the row. Being a student of your calendar, number one, is really important. So that's not looking at your calendar, that's paying attention, putting intention to create the coincidences of the day that you want. There's 3 components of a calendar, in case you're wondering. First is what you already have scheduled, in person, on the phone, email, and media, radio, print, TV, and social media. Some of you may have pieces of that, but it should be planned. Then you have a big chunk, what's called the white space of your calendar. You got to study that and think of it with the lens of how productive am I during the white space, how accessible am I, how accessible am I to others, and how am I accessing what I want, how am I asking those series of questions. And then finally, study sleep. Biggest habit that we all share, spend the most time doing every day consistently, is sleeping. But I have a sleep coach. I study sleep. Any trip I take, I'm calling her and asking her, when should I eat? When should I sleep? How much light? When should I open the shades? Or whatever it is, that's all planned by an expert. So I can be productive and accessible and gracious in what I do. The last part about the routine, the second routine, is because it changes so much. And when I say the second routine, it could just be you're at home, but you have your mother-in-law's in town. That'll screw up a schedule worth anything else, right? It's not just going to Korea and New York like I am next week. It could be a bachelor party. A certain friend from college comes over. Any of those things can screw it up. So what I do is I go by values. So for me, my biggest value now is my health. So when I start my adaptable routine, I make sure, if it's the only thing I get done, an hour a day on my health. And that really makes a difference. Then for me, it's 30 minutes with my wife, 30 minutes with my 9-year-old, 2 minutes with my teenage daughters. It's the most they'll give me. Sometimes that's an exaggeration, like sleep for me, because my girls don't always give me the 2 minutes. And a minute with my mom, and then I added a minute this year find a minute a day for someone I haven't talked to in my family or close friend group. Then student my calendar. So if I'm studying my calendar with those 3 components, I'm going to use the best use of time to do that, and it makes a huge difference. And it's a practice for me. I keep getting better and better and better.